How you doing? Everybody, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about my new e-bike that I bought. I've been looking for these for a while. I've looked at all the different brands, all the different pricing, all the different things I wanted, and then I basically got the list of features I wanted down. I wanted long range, so the 2 battery version was a must for me. I wanted front and rear suspension just for a more comfortable ride. I wanted the fat tires. I wanted either a carbon fiber or aluminum frame, not a steel frame, just for weight purposes. I wanted hydraulic disc brakes, not cable disc brakes. And then what were some of the other things that I was looking for in this? Oh, the headlight, tail light. I wanted it to be integrated into the batteries, not have separate batteries. And then, so that kind of narrowed me down to a handful of brands at the price point I was looking for. And then the Muk Pet had a couple additional features that I really liked. Like, it actually has a turn signal in the back, so when you're out on the roads and stuff, or if your kids are with you and they're riding behind you, they can see when you're about to turn, which I've been using it for, and they appreciate that. Also has brake lights, so when you hit the brakes, it shows them that, hey, I'm stopping, so they don't come running into you. It also has a horn, which is kind of cool. This one, and I don't know about the other ones, but I know for a fact this one, you can turn it on so your lights can be on, but you can have it to where when you pedal, you don't get any power. So that's really good if you're trying to teach one of your kids how to ride this thing, because on this e-bike, when you start pedaling and you're in one of the modes to actually have it go, you don't even have to be on the throttle. The second you start pedaling, it's going to start putting power out. It's an assisted bike, or you can just hit the throttle and it'll go without pedaling at all. But the idea that I wanted my kids to be able to get used to riding this bike, first I could turn it on with the lights on, have the horn work, signals and everything, but they have to pedal it to go and it won't assist. And then you have 5 modes after that. You have like your 2 eco modes 1 and 2, your 2 normal modes 3 and 4, and then the sport mode is 5. And I think that really, based on riding it, I think that just changes your top end speed. I think the acceleration through is pretty similar on all of them up to the speed it's limited to. You've also got 7 gears, so when you're going up a hill, this thing is 1500 watt peak, 750 watt average. And I will tell you, I've gotten this thing up to 31.5 miles an hour on flat ground. In order to do that on my road bike in a tuck, I had to be pushing like 400, 450 watts, and that's tucked down on a carbon fiber bike. So I believe this thing is definitely putting out the power it says it will. Accelerates great. I mean, if you're on a steep incline, you're going to have to pedal to get up it. 750 watts is great, but it doesn't gear those 750 watts. That's all e-bikes I know of, unless your motor's up in the frame, up by the crank somewhere, and then it is going through the gears. But then it's putting all that power that you're producing through the chain instead of straight to the hub. So there's pros and cons on that, and I prefer having the motor in the back, so you're not putting all that extra wear and tear on the chain itself. So that's just, you know, the different types out there. And this is more of a cruiser than a, you know, going out on a bike ride with all your friends, you know, on a trail or something like that. I would probably just take my regular mountain bike if I'm going out on a trail. But for going around town, going out to like a campsite or something like that, going to the grocery store, this thing is awesome. So like I said, it's got everything I wanted and a couple other features. The fenders are great, the lights are great. The one thing I want to show you on the quality of the welds. So it is an aluminum frame, and I recently had an aluminum hitch for the back of my truck. A piece of it broke because the weld was crappy. The weld was only like tack welded on, and then they put a bunch of material, but it was only on one of the pieces, not touching the other one. So when I got this and I saw it was aluminum, I went and checked all the welds, and they are significant. It's probably done by a machine, which is totally cool, or somebody who's pretty darn good at welding. I'm not a welder, but they all look pretty good to me. So this is an example of what failed on mine. So all of this welding material on the one that failed that I had on my tow hitch, there was a bunch of welding material, but it was all up on one piece and not even touching the other one. So when it broke, there was no like metal showing on the part that broke. It was just painted, which is pretty crappy. But this thing has solid welds everywhere. The bottom bracket is, you know, tons of welding material. And you can't see it from this side. Let me go to the other side. So, I mean, look at the welds on that bottom bracket. There's a significant amount of welding material everywhere, which is great. I got some sand on here because I was riding it on the beach in North Carolina this last weekend. But anyway, I also like that the batteries lock. So you have keys to lock the battery and then it can't slide off. If you unlock it, you can slide it off and take it off. And that's a significant portion of the weight of this thing. So the fact that you can pull the batteries off and it's not integrated into the down tube or somewhere else is pretty darn nice. So I will say this thing, it is significant. It's heavy. I mean, if you're gonna put it up on a rack or something, it's gonna be hard. If you had to put it up on top of your roof, like it would be, I mean, I don't even know if I could do it. When I put it in the back of my truck, I just grab the brakes, hold it up like this, put the front wheel on it, hold the front brake, pick up the back, and get it up in there. So it's doable, but I would absolutely take the batteries out, throw them in the back of your car or whatever, and then do it. So when I load this thing into my truck, I actually took the front wheel off. Super easy to do, just 2 bolts and then it slides right out. You don't have to worry about those pinch brakes where you have to unclip it and open it up. Disc brakes are great, it just slides right out of there. It's a through axle, actually I'm sorry, it's not a through axle, it's not a quick connect. It's a solid axle going through, but then it just slides right down and out. And when they ship this thing to you, they send it with a separate axle, which is actually really nice because the wheel is not in it when they ship it. So they put a separate axle in there that holds the fork in place. When I bought my $8,000 carbon fiber road bike, they used a piece of plastic in there and it did the job. But when I saw a metal through axle in there holding the fork in place, I thought that's pretty solid. If it got crushed or something, it's not gonna bend the fork. So, I mean, I saved it. I didn't put it on when I put it in my truck, but now that I'm thinking about it, anytime I'm taking the wheel out, I'll probably just throw that axle back in there in case it's in the back and I have something else in there and it goes on it or some, I mean, I can't really imagine a situation where it's gonna have a bunch of pressure on it, but if it were to happen, I want that thing in there so the fork doesn't bend. I don't think it would, it's pretty substantial, but you know, take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. Let's see, it's got a decent, strong kickstand. So, big old kickstand, it can definitely hold its weight. It's got a screen here that it's not a touch screen. You control it with some buttons on the side. It shows you your speed, it shows you the mode you're in, it shows you if you have your headlight on, blinker, stuff like that. You got 7 gears for going up and down hills and things. Let's see, the brakes feel awesome. I really like them. They're pretty good quality. And then you got your full suspension, so I mean, it definitely, it does good, and it's a fat bike, so it's got the big old tires, so that's gonna add some too. That's really it. It's a great bike. Muk Pet has a bunch of different options out there. They have the longer ones with the big frame on the back if you want to put car seats on it or something, or little seats for your kids. They've got like a folding one if you wanted something like that to throw in the back of your car. They've got a mountain bike that has front suspension and a single battery. I really wanted the dual battery so I could go further on longer trips and stuff. And then I just really like the way these look. I've seen other e-bikes like this and I'm just thinking that's kind of a cool look. I have a regular mountain bike, I have a road bike, so something like this is just, it's a little different, really fun. That's it. I'm really happy I went with this brand. There's a lot of them out there. Now that I have this one, I think I made the right choice. The welding is great. The fact that it's aluminum and not steel is great. The fact that it's got 2 batteries and they're removable, you can lock them. So they're like right now they're locked on there, and then you just have a key, you turn it, unlocks it, and so you can take the batteries off. Makes it great. It is heavy, like I said, but putting it in the back of the truck, you just hold the brakes, pull it back, get the front wheel on the tailgate, then hold that brake. So I did order a trailer for this thing. I mean, I couldn't figure out a way to put like saddlebags or something without your feet hitting it when you're pedaling, because really you're sitting right here, you got your suspension, you don't have anything to put it off the back, and then your feet are moving here. So I figured a trailer would be best, so I ordered a trailer. I'm waiting for it to get here, but when it does, I'm gonna put it on there. My kids can sit back there. It's a utility trailer, not a strap-in kid trailer. But my kids are older, they will wear helmets, we won't go super fast, it'll be fine. Throw hammocks in there, take it out to the forest and, you know, just have fun with it. Or go to the grocery store. Or if my kids go to school and they forget their lunch, or they forget their iPad, or they forget their computer or books, I can just jump on this thing and get out there and not have to start my truck to drive 2 miles down the road, drop it off, start it again, drive back. So that's it. I love this thing. I've got more videos coming on the truck, but in the meantime, I'm going to be doing some fun stuff with this. I've also got some hammocks that I'm going to be reviewing. So stick around if you like random stuff, and pretty sweet e-bikes. So cheers. How you doing? How you doing? You skipped me saying how you doing?
It's over!